Welcome back to another episode of Box Unpacked, your home of rugby content online and also on Supersport. The Boks are still in New Zealand, taking on the All Blacks again, looking to rectify the mistakes that they made last week and keep their hopes alive in the Castle Rugby Championship. Our South African ladies team is playing in the quarterfinal against the Black Ferns at the World Cup, a massive game for them and already a fantastic achievement. And then also Australia take on Argentina again, looking to go top of the table, Australia, in the Rugby Championship. So there is so much to discuss. I've got Sculler with me. Robbie Fleck is joining us as well. So it's time to unpack the box. Welcome back to another episode of Box Unpacked. As I mentioned, I'm joined again by Sculler as usual, and also by Robbie Fleck. Robbie is back again after joining us for The Verdict on Tuesday as well. This is a massive weekend for the Boks. They try to keep their hopes alive in the Rugby Championship, but before we get to that, we just need to slow it all down and take a moment for our friend Hanru Sir, who this week managed to injure himself
on tour
whilst being on tour in New Zealand. Look at that photo, guys.
Is that a full knee brace?
That's a full knee brace for Hanyani Masana Shimangi.
We're never going to hear the truth, but I'm going to get on top of Justin Marshall as soon as the show's finished, just to get the real story.
What happened to Shimmy?
The real story. And we know our friend Shimmy can't go into like an MRI machine.
Yeah.
Like he has a panic attack. So he's got to get drugged, sedated to go into the hole first.
Before, well, what was it? He was meant to fly somewhere, and before he flew over, he had to go for an MRI scan. They put him in the scanner, and then he got a panic attack. Like 2 minutes in, he had to press a button, and he got for his knee. And now he fell. Apparently, he fell. Well, I don't know when it was. If it was during the day.
Obviously, I mean the sidewalks are slippery in Auckland.
No, very.
Or was it in Wellington?
And also, Wellington. You know, like at the buffet area, it's normally very slippery. Nice, cameraman. Yeah, you just do what you do, okay?
Some cleaning product.
It's a rush.
It's a rush for the buffet, yeah.
It's a rush, and it's time for new crops.
Shim.
So, guys, please, Shimmy will be travelling back to South Africa. He's joining us on The Verdict on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday probably he's going in for operation.
So, does that mean we have to get him in a lazy boy? Yeah? Like, is it knee up vibe, or what? Do we have to change the seats?
That'll be great. Yeah. That'll be great. We should get him in a lazy boy. Talking about Marshy, we actually had Shimmy caught up with Marshy last week, and we got a nice clip on the site as well, on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched that, please do go watch the interview between Shimmy and Justin Marshall. While he was interviewing him, they spoke about the '99 World Cup, Flecky, and where you were both playing in the third place playoff.
Yeah.
And you met up earlier that week, got a couple of beers. That was quite nice. 2 days before the game.
2 days before the game.
Meet up in a pub. Playing for third place, bronze medal at a World Cup.
Well, I think, Nick Mallet gave us off the week, actually, and said, I want to see you guys a captain's run. And obviously the day before captain's run, we were still in the pub. And Marshy happened to be walking past us with a couple of his New Zealand mates, and we hooked up. It was half of us, South African team, all having sharing beers. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that's
what rugby is about, right?
That's how you beat the All Blacks.
That's why we beat the All Blacks. I think Marshy stayed in the pub longer than us.
We had exactly that, because Heineke was the assistant coach at the time. And then 2015, we obviously lost against New Zealand in the semi-final. And then we played Argentina. I mean, it must be the worst game in world rugby. Third, fourth playoff, bronze medal match. Yeah. Friday night, and we played out in East London, there at the Olympic Stadium, the Usain Bolt Stadium, West Ham Stadium. And also, same thing, gave the week off, and I just, 3 rounds of golf, beers every day, and pitched up and got a bronze medal. I think that's the Bok. That's how we get at that third, fourth place.
That's the recipe for successful bronze.
I know.
Graham Henry described it as open mouth kissing your grandma.
The bronze
The bronze medal.
That game, yeah. Have you ever? Flecky?
No, I haven't. No.
No, you haven't
It's
played.
actually the
You haven't
fir-
played in that game. Did you play?
I played in the. I haven't done open mouth.
Oh, jeez, I wasn't referring to
That's,
that.
that's, that's actually the first time I'm thinking of that. Thanks, John.
That's quite horrific, actually.
Talking about a couple of beers, one of our sponsors, Castle Lager, they are attempting a new world record. Okay, on the 24th of September at Loftus and on Table Mountain, they are trying to have the biggest braai ever.
Oof.
Most people ever at a braai.
On top of Table Mountain.
On top of Table Mountain and at Loftus. So on the 24th of September, Heritage Day in South Africa, Braai Day, as a lot of us know it. Go to Loftus, you can go to Harlow, get your tickets there, go braai, go have a beer, go support the box.
I mean,
Get your
this is
ticket
not-
before Shimmy.
This
Shimmy will be slow.
this is not documented, but surely I hold a couple of records for Castle Lagers.
You should.
you do.
Yeah, I know. I've never been the one to count beers, but maybe I should start.
You do love a Castle Lager, eh?
I like beer.
You're very
But I've
good
got a
at that.
question for you guys. Who do you think, which nation currently holds that record?
Of the biggest braai.
Yeah, boy.
Argentina,
No.
Jeez, probably Australia then.
No.
Spain.
No. Japan.
No way.
Japan. Held by Japan, apparently.
The little yakiniku, Korean barbecue.
Probably, yeah. The small little...
Yeah. Hibachi.
Yeah. This week was we were speaking about records being broken on Tuesday, and that we had a terrible week of sport for South Africa, and through comes Bafana Bafana
And Proteas last night.
and the
2 nights
Proteas.
ago.
So yeah, I was getting. I mean,
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
no,
telepathy.
script,
I've got your script.
yeah, Bafana Bafana 1-1 draw against Nigeria.
Yeah.
They are this close to qualifying for the World Cup.
Amazing.
How good is that?
That's incredible.
What did you make of that game, Flecky?
I didn't watch it, John.
Super Sport Blitz.
Was it? But I did read about it.
Oh, nice.
It's
So-
no, look, it's amazing.
That's
I think
great.
getting the country behind Bafana Bafana to go to a World Cup would be amazing.
No, exactly.
Just about time.
We've been.
The 2010 was our last one. Obviously, we got qualification through
It's the
hosting.
last time, yeah.
And they're trending the Bafana Bafana.
Yeah, they're doing
Proteas
really well.
bounced back. I mean, it's a short game. Like, what's it, 5 overs for England?
It was 9 overs and 5
9
overs, yeah.
And 9 overs for us. It was raining out in Wales.
Yeah.
That's why, out in Cardiff.
Weren't there some records in terms of the SA20 auction?
The auction,
Yeah,
yes.
we got.
Devil Brevis.
Everyone was talking about the $10 million man. He just got the $16.5 million
16 and a half,
man.
Devil Brevis.
From the
For
28th of December
4
till the
weeks.
28th of January.
4 weeks.
And
it-
Markram was 14 and a half.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But you know, it's money, Flecky, but I always say, you know, are they happy?
Are they doing shows like this?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the fun we have doing this,
Yeah.
you know. And yes, guys, I know you said a lot about our sponsors. We love our sponsors. You know, they make sure that we can actually do this.
I can categorically state neither of us from the 28th of December till anywhere in January is making any cash.
earning 16.5
Whatever's
million.
coming out is
We'll be spending
coming
it
in
all
is
that.
going straight out. Yeah, straight out.
And then, obviously, Springbok ladies didn't, you know, tough battle against France, but they are in a quarterfinal this weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing, best ever performance
Yeah.
from a ladies team. It's on the up. I think again, you know, you take into account where they've been, and you determine success on a different level, right?
Yeah.
You know, for them,
Yeah.
success is actually making the quarterfinals, and now it's just being competitive. Because it's a tough ask against the Black Ferns.
I guess that's the biggest issue. You're like, you watch that game against France, and like, how do they combat the physicality? You know, they got bullied on the last league game. This would be the same. So, like, as much as they've got ambition and they want to play, this is a big step up from what they used in quality, even from France. You know, the Black Ferns have been, you know,
Did we
stand
not
out.
beat them in a pre?
Yeah.
We played them
game?
here in South Africa, but it was a New Zealand 15. It wasn't
Yeah,
an
so
official
a lot
test
of their
match, yeah.
superstars weren't out here. So
Yeah.
I think this weekend will be a tough check for them. But anyway, it's been lovely to watch them. They play a nice brand. Obviously, we know with Swiss they're going to have an attacking mindset. So you never know. You get off to a fast start and hold on for dear life. But yeah, all the best for the girls this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big one. Go out, support them. Can they beat the Black Ferns? It's sport. You know, you take you take. I'm not going to mention Japan, but you take into account.
What happened again?
No,
Were you the captain?
Who's captain?
You were, yeah.
Okay, moving on then. No, can they beat them?
I
It's a game. It's a,
I don't think so.
not good enough.
Just a level
needs
above
to-
at the moment.
But
yeah.
to be honest, I don't think that's what they're measuring themselves
No,
against.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's about their growth path and what can they do this weekend and put the Black Ferns under pressure. I'm
Yeah.
sure they can. We'll be tuning in. I'll be watching that big time.
Lekker. Ladies, all the very best for that quarterfinal. Then a little bit of controversy. Our English South African cricketer, Mr. Kevin Pietersen,
Yeah.
after last week's defeat, did you see his comment?
Yeah.
No, what did he say?
He said, so
say
obviously
fair
there's
play.
been a lot of questions by Boks fans, but KP came out and slammed Tupavai for his excessive celebrations
100% agree.
and said he hopes Scott Robertson has the balls to stop All Blacks from their embarrassing behaviour. What do you make of that?
I felt it was over the top, to be honest with you, John. I
Yeah.
mean, the behaviour, the celebrations after every turnover or big hit, or I know they're trying to cheer up their teammates, whatever, but it's just a bit excessive. You know, it's not really what rugby's about. So
Yeah,
I agree with KP. I think fair play for
We've seen
putting
this
that
in
out there.
other teams as well, where like I don't mind them celebrating their own. You know, if someone scores a cracker, you go and give them a hug and a high five and lekker. But like if you make a mistake, say you're a Springbok, you make a mistake, that celebration in your face for you're celebrating someone else's mistake.
Patting on the back of the head. I mean, it's not needed.
That will get under my skin big time.
But is that not the idea? Is that not exactly what he was out to do? And he got it right.
Look, within that group, they will say that's where they get their energy from. It's that little, whatever you call it, a celebration or.
Certainly, as a coach, I do not encourage that stuff. I actually
don't
disencourage it. No, it's just it takes the focus off the game. I think it's unsportsmanlike. You celebrate your own stuff, no problem. But it's other people's demise or mistakes.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever had enough bandwidth to celebrate other mistakes. I wanted to smash them and then just crack on with the game.
Exactly.
That's
Get
what
on
it's
with
all
it,
about. So, the sideshow was never my scene. But he's not stopping it this week.
But there was zero reaction from the Springbok players.
Yeah.
I mean, they just get on with their job.
But do you think it's intentional from him, or do you think it's just emotion taking
I've watched
over?
him quite a bit. I mean, he does it all the time.
Okay.
He's just one of those players who does. I mean, you look at Will Jordan, he's not doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Richie McCaw never did that.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just the type of player that he is, and that's how he probably gets up his own energy, and he feels he has an effect on his fellow players and the opposition maybe. But
I don't think if you're a coach, unless it's a culture thing that you think, okay, we're getting it wrong.
yeah,
I mean, if it's an individual and that's the way he goes about it, he's not getting dropped for the weekend. He's
No,
not
he's
dropping
certainly
him.
not,
You're
yeah.
dropping him. He's starting at 5 lock.
5 lock. Who was the player that got under your skin the most, Flecky, in your playing career? Was there
Sure.
someone?
Justin Harrison,
George.
George Gregan, mainly the Aussies.
There was a lot of them.
What's it, Nathan Gray? Oof,
yeah.
It was just, those were
Sterling
the guys.
Mortlock,
Yeah,
Or club?
another. And then there was a lot of Blue Bulls as well.
mainly the Aussies. But always afterwards, beers,
Yeah.
shake hands, mates. But
It doesn't always.
Austin Healy.
Oh, Austin Healy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't always flow through to the play off the field, eh?
Never.
It's sometimes
Well,
never does.
a
Never.
total change in personnel. Like, I mean, you say Justin Harrison, George Gregan. I mean, fantastic human beings.
Exactly. Awesome guys.
Yeah.
Marshy
Marshy, yeah.
was next level.
Yeah.
But afterwards, an absolute legend.
I remember playing at the Subiaco Oval, and it's one of those games. Justin Harrison's there chirping you when you make a mistake, whether you've made 20 carries and 20 tackles and 30 cleans. He was never there. So I've been going at him as well. I'm like, get your hands on a ball, and I'll basically rip your scrum pad straight off your head. It's going up your own arsehole. And I'm chasing him around, so he's...
Colour, you can't get scrum pat.
Scrum pat. Scrum cap, whatever, a helmet. I'll put the helmet wherever it doesn't belong. And then afterwards, you still had the big old get dressed in a number one, sit down there. So I sat down there, obviously lost the game, worked up, case of beers as per usual, in the middle. Who sits next to me?
Yeah.
Justin Harrison. So I basically in Afrikaans tell the rest of this group, listen here, I think this is the first time I'm going to get suspended post-match.
Because he's got a South African wife,
And he had a South African wife at the time. And then, we had our first beer, we didn't say anything. Second beer, we started chatting, and we left there as biggest mates at the end of it.
Yeah.
Still didn't stop him from chirping the next bloody time we played against each other.
Okay, guys, let's get into the big game this weekend. Now, we mentioned Kevin Pietersen, obviously a Maritzburg College old boy. Last week, we had a Maritzburg College old boy captaining the Springboks. This week, he's not even in the mix. Let's quickly talk about the team that has been selected. The extreme nature of last week's approach, and then the selection this week, totally different. 9 changes to the starting team, multiple changes in the 23. What's the thinking there?
I mean, it's all backline players. I think you guys can run away with it. But the big fear, I always thought the second test match is the one where I think we will be better. Because our form leading into the first test match wasn't great. Got off to a slow start. We're playing at Eden Park. But I think Wellington is where, our turn in the season comes. Until the team got selected. So if you go through that backline, where does your leadership come from, Flecky? So it has to land squarely on Damian Willemse's shoulders. Now, Damian's season this year has been a lot of injuries. He hasn't had a lot of momentum.
Suspension.
He had a suspension, unfortunately. Then the international season started, had one start at 15, and that's pretty much been it. Off the bench in Joburg, and then out the mix, and now back into the mix. So I love the fact that he's playing 12, because I think that gives him direction as a player. His close contact skills is exceptional. We'll have to play a little bit differently. It's not like last week.
Gives the extra pass as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like last week where you can say, okay, let's go for them all, get no reward, pass it to Damian de Allende, he trucks it up over the gain line. The players that we've selected screams Tony ball. We've got to play a little bit more rugby. So, and I think maybe this is the weekend, if everything goes according to plan, that we find a bit of rhythm, because we went from kick to pass ratio in Joburg 12 to 3 in the last 2 matches, 3 kick to passes. So, look, it scares all of us.
Yeah.
And I think if you make that amount of changes, our defence has been one of our biggest issues in the game. This team, they're not just going to stand up there and have line speed and go fetch them 15 metres. No. There's going to be a check. They're going to start safely and build an innings. And in that, there is a risk. There is a risk that we overplay our own hand and make errors.
I think, the too many changes from my side. I think we said that on Tuesday. There's no solid combinations that have, had time together. I like the look of it in terms of the backline. I think it's an exciting backline going forward. But to choose that backline as a first option in the second test in New Zealand and try and get a result out of it, I think it's a tough ask. Nice players, exciting players. You talk about it from a defensive situation, with Marnie, Damian and Moody. I mean, that's a brand new combination in the midfield. Sasha.
And then you got Ethan Hooker.
Yeah.
It puts them under serious pressure, defensively, where the All Blacks are going to pick that up and they're going to have a proper crack at them, and they're not scared to throw it around. For the first time, though, it's and also from a game manager, you talk about leadership in the back line. Damian is going to be that guy, but they would look to Sasha for game control. Now, he hasn't really been doing that, right? So he's a brilliant individual rugby player. We all know his ceiling is so high in terms of what he can do, the X factor, etc., etc. But why was Pollard brought back in? He was brought back in to drive the team forward, get that forward pack going forward, kicking game, putting the corners. When New Zealand put us under pressure at the breakdown, Pollard became lateral, but then you saw Sasha starting to really, do 1 or 2 incisive runs. Granted it was at 12, but so that's what they're probably looking for. But they're not going to get the general game management from Sasha. He's a bit like Marcus Smith at this stage. Why did the Lions choose a guy like Finn Russell? Why did England choose the other Finn Smith ahead of him? Because they control the pack, they keep their forwards going forward, they play for the team. Sasha's a little bit more individualistic, like a Marcus Smith, which is a big concern. But what they have got right is the loose trio combination.
And that's
massive with Visser back. And that's the strongest loose
before we actually get to that, because we need to go to a break quickly, I just want to keep on the thing around Sasha, Damian, and just the approach. Is it too extreme at this stage? We go either either the more experienced guys with a very conservative approach, or then we go totally the other way. You know, are we? Is it too much? And is the solution being, you know, finding ourselves somewhere in the middle?
No, this is Flecky's expertise, but like we had such lovely shape with the loose forwards and the trams, the 4 off the 9, you know, playing a lot of movement out the back of that pod, and we just became too lateral by passing it out the back all the time and forgetting about the gain line. You know, if you think about it, like, so if then we went all shape out the window, play off 9, maybe get some width through a Villiers Leroux pass and kick off the base of the ruck. If we
in
kept,
the second half,
if we just keep that same shape but play the more direct options, everyone's in the game.
Yeah.
Everyone's walking to a point. Everyone is, you know, attack-minded, focused, and then you can kick within that shape. So I think this weekend we'll go back to that. So I think the transition from the Australia game first to the second Australia game was too vast. It was too big. It's so hard to have rhythm. You can't change everything you're about, your identity. So I think this is probably a weekend where we go back somewhere to the middle of the road. Whether this team can change that around in a week with 9 changes. Is 9 changes?
I think it's 9, yeah.
9 changes. I mean, that's a big ask.
Let's quickly have a break. When we come back, we'll go into the All Black team that's been selected, also further analysis on the game and where South Africa needs to make a change.
Cody from Paul has sold multiple vehicles to We Buy Cars. Suspicious? I think so.
Is that a crime?
No. Where are you getting the cars?
I buy them and I sell them at the spot like a normal person.
Okay.
No, man, I'm just an accounting student. I know a good deal when I see one.
That's Excel. Meant. What's more stressful, tax season or selling a car at We Buy Cars?
Tax season, obviously.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Okay, guys, we spoke about 10-12 combination, the backline, the changes that we've seen there. We quickly touched on it, the loose forwards. Far more balanced, big game for Yasper Visser.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's had a long-term injury, came back, played the 3 games, had the suspension. So he's been out for another, 6 weeks, give or take now. So these games are always hard, like you can't see him going 80 against the All Blacks. But what he does bring is drives a hard edge, carries, he's got that body type, also good on the ground. This game is set up for the pack of forwards to be utterly dominant. I think if we want to find our rhythm, this pack is a proper pack of forwards. We can get hold of the All Blacks, suffocate and strangle them in around the breakdown, in around set phases, and then on top of that, with the width that we can get through the backline we've picked, if these guys start running at the All Blacks, they've got a lot of soft shoulders, the All Blacks. Yeah. They come off the first pot of 9 reasonably hard, but they've always been quite tight, and then they use the touchline to get you at the back. So there's often soft shoulders. Doesn't matter what the body is in front of you. If you run at them, you're going to get over the gain line, and no one better in our Boks team than Jasper Wiese to do that.
It's tough on a microphone starting, because I think he's been pretty good. But it's probably, again, horses for courses and saying everyone's available. Yes, performance has been decent, but
so
just not fitting in.
If we really be honest about that loose trio, I mean, what's Sia's preferred and best position? It's open side, right?
Yeah.
That's where he has the most impact. One of the best defenders in the group. He puts people backwards, contesting hard on the ground. And then with Visser's inclusion, what people don't realise, apart from his physicality, it's his work rate.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at his stats that he had in the English Premier League. He was top carrier, top cleaner, top tackle count, everything, and that's what he brings. And that allows the Peter Steffs and these guys to play rugby, and giving them a bit more freedom. Because I felt like Peter Steff has had to play quite tight of late, and he hasn't had that freedom in the wide channels that he's usually had. And Marco's done well, but for me, this is the best loose forward combination that South Africa's got.
So we got no Evan Roos this weekend. So we go Nortje, Louw starts. That's obviously a fallout of the lineout. Elrigh Louw has been in Siberia. He's popped back in. I think if we had 6-2 split, I think Marco van Staden would still make it, but we're not going 6-2 anymore. It's 5-3, and I think part of that is having Esterhuizen on the bench as not a flanker. Is for the way we play on the weekend.
It's making the assumption that he's selected as a backline player.
He's selected as a backline player big time this weekend, because I don't think Damian's going 80 either.
Yeah.
And if we don't get gain line, our pack is dominant.
He's coming on early.
He's coming on early.
Yeah.
You made a point saying it's our best loose forwards. A fit Cameron Hanekom, a fit Elrigh Louw. You still go, just for interest's sake, you still go Yasper Visser?
From an experience point of view of physicality, I like this loose forward combination. And then you bring on the likes of Hanekom in that. I mean, he's going to be an exceptional player when he gets his chance in a pack that's going forward. Then you can see his game-breaking abilities. But right now, for me, this is the solid option. And we need a solid performance from this pack because the backs that we've chosen are quite loose, to be honest. And the pack needs to be dominant, as you say.
If we have all those fit, then the 6-1 or 7-1 or 6-2 or 7-1 is back on. It's just the fact that they're not available, and you can't quite take the risk.
Also, you say that we need dominance from the pack, and that our backline, could be quite loose. I think we've got exceptional rugby players selected. Okay, so individual skills fantastic.
Yeah.
Will a guy like Elrigh Louw come into his own more in this game? We haven't seen that much of the go-go-gadget arm and the offloads and that from him, as we saw him playing for Leinster. Is this a game where we could see more than that? Rassie also said we need to score at least 25 points against the All Blacks to stand a chance. Can we do that? And does Elrigh have a pivotal role to play as well for us to be able to score tries?
The tricky thing coming off the bench is you've got to either close the game out or you've got to go chase it.
Yeah.
If you're closing a game out, I mean, the go-go-gadget arm is not in play. You basically carrying over the gain line, trying to get as many yards as possible. If you're chasing the game down or the game's level and you want to make a game-changing moment, then Elrigh has got to have that go-go-gadget on. But for him to have the ability to offload, I think his best work comes post-contact. You've got to have people in motion running off it. You can't just send 3 guys down on a pod trying to form another ruck. The offload's never on. So if we play like we did with our shape, say the first 22 minutes we played against Australia up in Joburg before the lack of game managers cost us 38 points on the bounce. Yes, then by all means on, but you've got to earn the right to offload.
Yeah.
So for me, on his selection, maybe the to Sculler's point about the soft shoulders, and the soaked tackles, that's when Elrigh comes into the game. Because, he can ride those tackles and get those offloads. But the way that the All Blacks had that defensive breakdown going last Saturday,
you don't get
slow ball, he doesn't get that opportunity to run at those soft shoulders, and he actually gets taken out of the game. He just becomes another lock.
We're going to touch on the All Black side because, on the face of it, there's not a lot of changes, but there is too. Tyrrell Lomax comes in. That's obviously Fletcher Newell's on the bench just for scrum. In the picture, maybe they realised they were lucky to get away with 100%. Whatever they had last week. Then in the back line, they got Hotham coming in, number 9. We haven't seen a lot of him. Obviously, they still got Roygaard and Cortes Ratima injured. And then at the back, Damian McKenzie goes to fullback. Will Jordan strengthens the aerial game on the wing, compared to Rico Ioane. And what's the other change they've got? Leroy Carter, the seventh player, good little player.
Making his debut, and also Semisoni Tokiao starts at hooker. So again, the challenge there.
He played 80% of the game.
Cody Taylor, I think, is a big loss for them. But I mean, Tokiao is such a explosive
also
carrier.
Maybe between him and Lomax, similar to what we had for a long time. Like with Bongi and Ox. That's their best scrumming pack. Cody Taylor, the way he moves around the field is exceptional. Tokiao, once he gets into the 22, he gives them an extra bit of oomph. He's a big body type, and he's also good on the ground. Carter reminds me a bit of Corey Toole, the winger that Australia played against us in Cape Town. Good gas, short, typical 7 style of player. Look, the big challenge for him will be the aerial battle. How dominant can Damian McKenzie bail him out if the ball's on top of the head? We're going to kick through 9 predominantly. You think if you've got Kobus Reinach at 9
and
Sasha, you're going to kick, I would say 80% of it's going through your number 9. And we didn't really have that much dominance in the aerial battle last week.
It was 50-50.
Because, Carter will be up against Cheslin. So he's not, in terms of height-wise, it's not as if, I think if he was up against Ethan Hooker, you're kind of missing that aerial battle or that height advantage. You're certainly getting that. It's a pressure situation for him as well, right? We always think, our guy's going there, but for him it's a it's a high pressure environment as well.
Yeah. Debut tests. I mean, he's a Chiefs player, is he not? So I think he plays for the Chiefs, right? Leroy Carter.
I'm actually not too sure.
Anyway,
Yeah, I think so.
regardless, he's got his debut, and you'll be looking forward to the All Blacks on a high. He's going to be welcomed into that environment with a lot of confidence. He had a superb, provincial season during Super Rugby, and he's very much like Cheslin, right? Huge work rate off the ball, great finisher, got lots of gas. So I think he's going to add a bit of impetus there to that side. Mackenzie at the back, for me, I think it's around the selection of the kicking game. I agree with you. He's able to command that airspace. He's very good in there, and he's got an excellent kicking game. So maybe from their side, tactically, they may even kick even more. It was interesting. They didn't play a lot of rugby in their own half, and they only played rugby when they got to R22 with some very smart tactics, which we spoke about. But that pack, for me, has got size now. It's got a bit of weight, got a bit of power. We spoke about Parker
on blindside
definitely, flanker. You don't see a lot of him, but he's disrupting. He's a heavy body. They've been missing that in their setup. That pack, it's a smart pack. Tactically they're getting things right, well coached. They could give the All Blacks that go forward ball to ignite these electric backs.
Parker's a big body, and like they used Tupo Vai there before. Obviously, since Kano there was a big hole, and then they got it with Shannon Frizzell. Currently, he's playing over in Toshiba in Japan. Like he made a big difference when he played against the Boks. I think he's decent in that position. We'll see this weekend. I think if the game does open up, it does allow us loose forwards to roam a bit more freely and have a bigger impact on the game. So I think that's the weekend.
A big responsibility for the loose forwards as well, and as a unit would be the lineouts. Victor Matfield said this week, he doesn't like the pod system that we are using, and that's resulting in a 78% success rate that we had last weekend. What do we make of those comments, and will we be able, and you said it earlier in the week, it's kind of, it's a continuous struggle for us at line-out time. Did we have enough time to rectify it? And the guys coming in being Louw and Yasper, will they give better balance?
That 78% is flattering because, a lot of the balls we did win was tap downs and we didn't actually get our play
disrupted.
So it's not like after the first phase. If we take that stat forward to after the first phase or set completion, we'll be languishing down at 30% probably. It's a short week. You've had a lot of changes. At the moment, the only real attacking play we've seen is off the four-man line-out. Yeah. Our four-man line-out's the one that malfunctions most. And I think our sequence might be a little bit wrong where we want to have the attacking play, but that determines what line-out you've got to have. And I think we've got to build an innings, whether it's a bailout, whether just finding your ball, completing that set, getting a positive for the back of it. It's not the, golden ticket play. It's just the stock standard. What's your base? Get over the vacuum. If it doesn't work out, go for the aerial contest, but build a bit of rhythm. At the moment, we sort of just try for the ball over the 15. It's off the top, and it's the best looking training paddock move you can get. And I think when you wobble at the line-out, you've got to manipulate it until you're confident that we can take your transfer arm for a back ball. New Zealand's been sitting in their system. We've got front ball. We've got quick time ball options instead of the movement, long dummies, a lot of running in the line-out because they're in a man-watch system, which is different to what the Wallabies were doing. They were like in a two-pod, giving us the front, and then still we try to force it middle or back, which to be honest is the best ball to attack from. We all know that, but line-out, if we don't get the line-out right with the team we've selected now, if you think you've got Peter Steff, Ruan
exactly.
Lou de Jager, then
even Sia.
If you don't get it right then obviously the selection's nullified.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speed is your friend as well, with the line-out, and I also feel that's where we've got it wrong. It's not actually slowing it down, going to the line-out and slowing it down, but actually picking up the pace a little bit, and more tempo to it.
Well, that always keeps the opposition guessing. But I agree with Scully. Go back to the basics of it. Win the ball first. However you do that, through a bailout, a burner, whatever, front ball, doesn't matter. Just do that first and foremost. Build your rhythm, build your confidence, and then let the play dictate afterwards. But and tempo, Jean, always, and have predetermined calls. You know what it's like.
Walk in and take,
the first 3 lineouts, you know exactly what you're going to do. Just go in there. It doesn't matter if they contest it, but it gives the players more confidence. I would think that's what Rassie and the guys would do.
I mean, that stadium, and the wind goes one of those, and
exactly.
swirls. So, like, if we think we're going to get the burner going and, pitch up, it might not be raining, but the wind, I mean, blows at bloody 60 k's an hour. It's like in the middle of the harbour. That ball over the top might have a different mind of its own. It might drop short. It might go sideways. So, I think this weekend, you start and you build your confidence. You build an innings, like the cricket analogy.
The breakdown. It's a concern. It wasn't just a concern on the weekend. It wasn't just the interpretation, if you want to call it that. But we have been poor at the breakdown as well all season long. How do we rectify that? Because you can do it, on the training pitch, but it's not the same as in a game situation. And is it a little bit of just losing concentration, a lack of concentration when you are there? Being just having the clarity of what you are having to do and then executing that. It's small moments where we're losing it.
For me, it's not really a technical thing. For me, it's a mindset. And for what I saw in that game on Saturday was that there was a lack of urgency and intention at the breakdown. We were late. We weren't early on the cleans. We weren't hitting our ball carrier through. We weren't hitting their double tackles. Either defend on either side, really aggressively and putting them landing on top. And we were soft. We were turning out, our shoulders. We were hitting, with our hips. We weren't good at all. And that was, for me, it's a mindset thing. I do think that Visser will add huge aggression and physicality to the breakdown and that work rate that we speak of, which will help us somewhat. But the message I would think from Rassie and the mindset will be around that is going to be the primary focus this week. That is where this game is going to be won and lost against the All Blacks. If you dominate the All Blacks at breakdown time, you win the game, 100%.
A lot of emotion goes into that, and Yasper Visser will bring that emotion.
But that's why he's suspended, right?
But he so often goes over the top.
That's okay. That's okay. He was suspended a few times.
Hey, he wasn't suspended that much.
Not too many times, but
should have been.
It probably should have been. Now it would have been done.
Now he never would have played.
Like, I think that, I don't think he'll go over the top. He's going to be fired up. He comes back. Look, the modern day game, you can just be the wrong person at the wrong time. You're assistant tackler, you've got intention to put a big hit, the guy slips or falls or gets tripped and you hit him in the head. Unfortunately, that's the game now. This is the first time since Rassie's been in charge where we've had lingering issues for multiple weeks. If you think about it in the past, if we battled with a breakdown, the next week it will be cleared up. If we battle with our line out, the next week it will be cleared up. If your defence is wobbly 1 week, next week, cast to mind back last year, Argentina, we conceded 36 points, lost in Argentina. The next week, gone was the stagger. It was go fetch them in Nelspruit, and we put, 50 on them or 48 on them. So, from a coaching perspective, when you've got issues that linger along, that's the hardest to sort out, because why isn't it rectified?
As in the breakdown.
As in the breakdown. Last week we got counteract, which was the first time that we got counteract this season. But then also our attacking breakdown will start quite clean, and then as time goes on, it drops off. So, it's the ultimate coach killer, I think. When you work on something, you put the mindset on it, your focus on the week is breakdown. You go away from having like these shadow rucks to actually having a bag there every single time, clean, target the correct, but also the ball carrier is so important. Maybe our ball carrier has got a bit lazy. We see a lot of times guys falling shoulders turned in, which open that inside cleaner, like try and work out, try and fall that side. Also, man on fire. We can't do the role yet, but there's nothing stopping you from moving the ball. If I'm going, you've got one chance now as a jackler to be on the ball or clamp on the body and fake it. But if that ball moves that much, you can't put your hand down and then
go again.
Because you're not supporting your own body weight and you've gone past the ball. So I think that subtlety we've lost the art of.
And Scala, to that point, there was just so many, so much bodies around the rack last weekend that you talk about the man on fire and trying to get that long placement. that action on the ground. But there was so much bodies that sometimes they were trapped and they couldn't get it, which, like you say, opened up the opportunities for the poach or the jackal. But for me, the key thing is the mindset. And I think they will get that right.
Yeah.
They certainly will get that right in terms of breakdown, South Africa. But then we've made the changes. So now we don't get to see Damian and Pollard on the front foot when it's good go forward ball from our forwards. Damian staying on top of the defence. Now suddenly we've got a new selection. Guys who aren't really guys that stay on top of the defence. They're probably a little bit more steppers, passes, a little bit more lateral. So, yeah, I agree with you. It just seems this year that we do one thing and then we get it right, but then we make a change in selection.
Yeah,
and
true.
And that makes me worried about this game.
It's not only a forwards thing. You look at the backs. You look at all those backs will run a line. They'll give an option, which inevitably takes you out of the cleaning lane. Then you flat. You're next to him. So to get to the clean, you've got to bounce back and you make a soft clean. Sometimes you get it right. Most times you don't. Caden Moody, Damian Willemse, Sasha, Fassi, Ethan Hooker, Cheslin Colby. They're running for the half cap.
100%.
They're not running for the clean. If you take that back last week, Hanru, Damian, Cheslin, Jesse Kriel, they're all running to the clean.
100%.
Before we go to break, the one area New Zealand will focus on to get a result, where's their opportunity?
I don't think they'll change their plans too much. I think they'll target our breakdown once again. They'll target our lineout, certainly. They'll gain a lot of confidence from that. They have to stop our maul because then most of the South African game plan, falls away. And I think, tactically, they were brilliant last weekend. I don't think they executed as well as they should have. But I think they will be better without changing their plans too much, just getting better and focus on those three areas. Putting the pressure on South Africa, and then again the smart players inside the 22 if they get those opportunities. They'll come up with something new.
They will. They will be competitive. They will be better as well, and will be a massive challenge once again for the Boks. Before we actually get to this, how good was the singing of the national anthems on Saturday?
Yeah.
The Maori choir.
The choir was unbelievable.
It really was. It was one of the best renditions of even Nkosi Sikelel outside of South Africa.
Yeah, I have to agree. It was special.
Yeah, and the lights, and it was very nice.
They get something right with those stadiums so you can switch the lights on and
beautiful.
off. Marseille does it.
Yeah.
Paris did it as well. Back here it just stays on all the time, but it gives a nice little atmosphere. It's like rock concert-y vibes.
Yeah. Thanks for your input on that,
Thank
Flecky.
you.
No, pleasure.
Thank you very much. Great news to see Deon Fourie back playing in his 100th game for
Legend.
Western Province. Absolute legend. Currie Cup still on the go. We have our semi-finals, the Lions, Suzuki Griquas, Toyota Cheetahs, and the Sanlam Boland Cavaliers.
It's a big game.
What an amazing season from them.
Yeah.
Harvey's Fourie.
Yes.
Hats off.
That's great.
He's pulled a crew together
This is some reunion. It's Harvey Fourie versus Frans Steyn. Like Harvey was coaching him like a year ago, and Ruan Pienaar.
So blockbuster clashes this weekend in Joburg and in Kimberley, those semi-finals. So good luck to the Currie Cup players as well. But we go back to our big test match on the weekend, the Boks versus the All Blacks. And we will now give our predictions for that game. Mr. Robbie Fleck, what are you going with in terms of this game?
Sean, I am, I've been, toying through this, the last couple of days, but these selections concern me. And I think there's a lot more consistency in the All Blacks as opposed to us. Too many changes in the back line for South Africa. Better pack, no doubt. But I just feel that we're gonna lose this one, and it's going to be close. But my prediction is the All Blacks by 5.
I'm not going to punch you, don't worry. Don't worry, I don't like your prediction, but what I want to do...
I hate going against But I think early in the week I was saying definitely a Springbok win.
We have to put our betting hats on.
Okay.
Because we're betting here.
I definitely felt that, at the beginning of the week, the way South Africa ended the game was positive.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so you are saying New Zealand to win by a couple.
Yeah.
So 1 to 7 points. You are getting that result at odds of 3.55. So betting on behalf of Shimmy, you are putting 500 Rand on New Zealand winning by between 1 and 7 at 3.55.
That's lekker.
Yeah, you also went against the Boks last week. What are you going with today, Schalk Burger?
No, I can't go against the Boks twice. So this team,
Yes.
like Flecky said,
I like you so much more.
made me nervous. But I've all along said, like, we'll be better for it in the second test. The changes is my main stress. But, like, I think I was always like, we'll lose the first one within 7, and I think we'll beat them by 10 in
Nice.
the second test match.
We actually had there was where was that now? There was a journalist who also said that the All Blacks will lose by 15 points.
I'm not that brave. Like for me, a
Because of the
safe bet
scrum.
will be like, I think we'll. I'm
Okay,
going to stick to
Scala.
my bet. I can't go back on my word. So the Boks
you're
by
a,
10.
You're a betting man these days,
I
and
know. I'm
you
terrible
are
at
getting odds of for Boks to win by 8 to 14 points. You are getting odds of 8.6 for your 500 rand. So
I'm gonna
if you
stick
win,
to
you're
that.
winning 4,300 South African rands.
So
Look.
he takes the lead.
If it does happen,
Yes.
come on the Boks.
I'm
Come on the
going.
Boks.
I'm going Boks by 1 to 7. 500 rand at odds of 4.7. Those are great odds.
That's also
Did
great.
you
I'll-
not phone Shimmy and ask him what he...
No, you are.
You're
You
betting
should have
for
done
Shimmy.
it. Why don't you prepare?
Well,
You are
didn't ask
basically
me to.
Shimmy, okay?
okay, I'll phone
And he's
him.
injured. He's focusing on his knee
And the buffet.
and the buffet. Okay, those are our bets for the weekend. Our We Buy moment. Our impact player prediction.
Oh,
Now,
this is not where you come alive.
Flecky, how this works is
No.
you have to tell us who your impact player will be for the weekend, and you have to sell him to us.
No, so
as
like
if
you
you're a
mustn't
car
tell us
salesman.
who you're backing. You must just sell him as a card.
Yeah.
We've got to guess.
Schalk, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Or must I? Okay, you
I'm,
go.
I'm going in
No,
first.
don't cheat.
He does cheat.
It's not called cheating. It's preparation. It's called preparation.
I'm going to go for, this guy reminds me of like one of these souped up hatchbacks. You're like a Honda Civic or a Ford Focus or a Polo, or maybe a bit bigger than a Polo. So not quite a Polo. Let's give him GTI. So a hot hatch. And then in traffic, the exudes up in, there's flames coming out the back. He's got little handbrake turns, dominates the space. You know, not even taxis can push him out. Like he comes in there, revs it, hoots it in, unlocks the fences. And I think he's got a big role to play this weekend in the back line.
I'm going with Cheslin Colby.
No, he's like more your pocket rocket. I'm thinking a little bit bigger, similar skill set.
Damian Willemse.
Damian Willemse.
I like it.
See, I thought you were describing Mackenzie.
No, I'm going for the Bok.
Why do you want an All Black player? First you say, don't worry, we won't invite him back.
That's fine.
We won't invite him back, guys.
I thought this was an honest joke.
No, it's honest. Okay, so do you want to go or can I go?
No, you go first. That was very good, Scala.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I've got notes. I've got cheat notes. This guy is like a rugged,
yourself in.
high-performance off-road truck, built tough for any terrain, with unstoppable power and agility to dominate the field. His explosive carries and relentless work rate make him a game changer.
Yasper Visser.
Perfect for any team needing a heavy-duty impact player. Come test drive this Springbok piece today and see why he's a must-have for victory.
Yeah, I got him, Jasper Wiese. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That's very good. But this is so unfair because you guys told me about 2 minutes before
no,
the show
we didn't,
that this is
Flicky.
gonna
We
happen.
told you about
This
7 weeks
is
ago.
how you make good TV, Flicky. You just come up
This
with
is like
something on
you
the
guys
spot.
stay on the
Please.
show and every other guest gets kicked
Okay,
off.
guys, this is where
Can I give you
Flecky-
my plan?
Yeah. I just
But I'm
want-
not going to give the description.
Okay.
I think Mackenzie's going to
I like that.
have a big role in this game. Kicking game, running game, high ball, goal
Flick.
kicking.
Did you not get the brief?
No, I didn't.
Of what?
Was I not allowed to choose an All Black player?
No, you are.
Yeah.
But so he's like what car? Like
Okay, so when you invite me back, he's
He's a small
he's a
little
GTI.
thing.
He's a mini. He's a.
don't worry, I'm terrible at it. Okay,
We got Mackenzie.
Yeah, I gave him my go.
okay. So you're going with
Buy the
Mackenzie.
car.
Okay. We need to decide on one. Which player do we think will have the biggest? Mackenzie,
Damian,
or
Willemse,
Yasper?
or Jasper?
Okay, so we got a 3 agree.
Yeah, we need to agree.
I
on one.
think
Jasper.
Jasper.
Yes. I like winning. Okay, guys, quickly Australia.
Does that count as a win?
Yeah.
Okay. Well done.
Because you chose me. Thank you. Guys, don't forget, for Coca-Cola, back of the shorts, snap a pic, send it to Coca-Cola, at Coca-Cola ZA, and you can be a Bok, win a nice experience, or the pants, the shorts of the Springboks. Australia, Argentina, quickly.
Have we got Kripnis on the teams there? I saw a couple of changes for Argentina.
Couple of changes for
Matera's
Argentina.
on the bench.
And for Australia, I think at fly-off is a big change.
They've got Edmed.
Edmed at 10 and Pablo Matera on the bench. I think for Argentina, big
And
change.
also no Iketa at 12, I saw.
Iketa out, Hunter Paisami in.
Paisami in. I actually think Argentina, Australia was lucky to get away with last week 21-7 down, were they? And then they, won in the 86th minute. I think that Argentina side, they've got something special about there, especially their attack. If they get a roll on, they can score points quicker than anyone else in this comp. So I back Argentina this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I love the way they play. I mean, Contepomi's done an outstanding job.
Right?
The style and the DNA of the Argentinian rugby, it's they're playing for something. They've got more purpose the way they go about things. So I agree with Sculler. They're a dangerous team, and I think they're going to win.
What I also like about them, in contrast to us, the changes aren't that big. So he slowly but surely brings new guys in. Pablo Matera now going to the bench. He keeps him kind of honest as well. So it's not massive changes all the time, but all these guys that he brings in, they build up experience and some classy players.
Their back three is. We talk about Australia having a fast back three. Their back three. This weekend there's no Del Guy. Isgro comes in, but then I think the biggest change to them is their number 9.
Yeah.
Garcia, how he scoot Garcia.
But Sculler, just those two set-piece plays from scrums, and they got around there.
Beautifully.
Unbelievable.
Great
the pace and the offloading and keeping the ball alive and support play.
So nice.
There's some proper timing in that, in the way they play that back. They hold it up and they play it when you think it's too late. They play it and they get a half shoulder.
It's so easy just to kick from there. That plays on the field, but have a go. It's such a great attacking opportunity. Fullback back, wing needs to drop a little bit there space. Guys, new section.
Oh yeah. Okay, tell us.
It's the Don't Laugh Challenge. No, I'm joking.
So
it's a
again, I feel
Springbok
a bit
quiz.
vulnerable. You guys have prepped each other on this, and I'm
It's
on
a
my own.
Springbok quiz. Okay, couple of questions. Between you two, I ask the questions. You have to answer. The loser needs to buy the first round of Castle Lagers in the pub. Okay, the Springbok won their first Rugby World Cup in 1995. Who was South Africa's top try scorer during that tournament, and how many did he score?
Chester Williams.
Chester Williams.
Chester scored 4 in the quarter.
So we were right about Chester.
No,
I said Chester Williams. Yeah, I think he scored
Chester Williams,
about 7.
Chester Williams,
He
7.
scored
You go.
4 in the quarter, but he only played in the quarter, didn't he? When did he come back from injury?
Oh, you're on the right track there, Schalk. You're on the
Yeah,
right
he
track.
came late into the competition.
Yeah.
Canada last pool game.
Yeah.
Peter Hendricks gets suspended.
Yes.
Chester Williams enters
Enters.
quarterfinals, scores 4 tries.
Against Samoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
That's
scored
where
4.
Is that where it ended?
He scored 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
never
well,
scored in
so
the
he's the top try
semi-final and the
scorer.
Top
final.
try scorer scored 4.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
But you're not a team. You're competing against each other. So Schalk 1, Fleck is 0.
No, I said Chester Williams first.
But the question was...
How many?
You
You said 7.
Okay, half point each.
Fine.
Thank you.
South Africa's only ever test defeat to Japan came at the 2015 Rugby World Cup in Brighton. Which Springboks scored the 3 tries in that shock loss?
Adrian Strauss.
3 tries scored.
Adrian
You were the captain there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Adrian Strauss. No? Ja? Did Louw de Jager score?
Louw de Jager scored, yes. You've
Not
got one
Adrian.
right. No.
Sia Khaleesi.
No. You got the position right. You got the position right. You got the names wrong. So Louw de Jager won.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, guys. 2 more.
Peter Steff started, no? He didn't score.
No.
Sia started. Myself. No Flo, no Dwayne.
Flo.
Flo.
There we go.
Flo.
Thank you. I got it.
Flo.
Okay, Flo. Flo.
And
Yeah.
one more. You got the position right. You got
Did we have a maul try?
You got the position right. You got the name wrong.
On what?
Evan.
On hooker. Bismarck.
Yes, Bismarck.
Bismarck.
Louw, Bismarck, and Flo. I
All the
didn't-
forwards.
I did-
What did you do? I mean,
No, he missed tackles.
Okay.
The Springboks' biggest ever victory came against Uruguay in 2005. What was the scoreline?
142-6.
No, it was my first game at 12 for the Boks.
You know what's unfair about this?
Scored 2
You
tries.
guys played in all these games.
You-
Okay, just check.
How many tries did Tandre Shavanga score that game?
8.
Yeah, 6.
6.
Okay.
The score was...
128-6.
No, it's wrong.
3.
135.
140.
140.
134. 134-3. Okay, 2 more. Sia Khaleesi made history in 2018 as the first black captain of the Springboks. Which team did he lead them against in his debut as captain?
England.
Well done. Congratulations. Who holds the record for the most points scored in a single test match for the Springboks?
Stefan de Blanche.
How do you get there?
He scored like so many tries.
In one game?
Yeah. Most points scored in a single test match. you
Yeah.
said.
How many did he score? He scored
I
4,
don't know.
didn't
Four
he?
tries.
But
Who
Tondai
was...
scored 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandra scored 6.
Tandre scored 6.
Most
And
points,
who was...
Monty.
Yeah, who was converted... You know, probably didn't play the whole game, but like someone had to kick a hell of a lot of penalties. Is Tandre the leading...
It's it's a kicker.
Yeah, it must be a kicker.
He did kick.
Morné Steyn.
No, it's not Morné Steyn. It's a good guess. He scored 28, I think it was, against the
Well,
All
then it has
Blacks.
to be Paul.
You were on the field this game when this guy scored that many points.
Oh, against Australia, wasn't it? No?
No. It was at a World Cup. The answer is
Jannie de Beer.
Yanni de Beer.
Oh, against
And
England. no?
because you said Yanni de Beer, you win, so now you have to buy de Beer for him. Okay. And that's at least all we've got. We've run out of time. You can watch The Verdict. You can watch Box Unpacked on SuperSport Live. You can watch it on our YouTube channel, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We've got
John.
so much more to talk about, but
Thanks,
we have
Johnny.
to say goodbye.
Thanks, Fleck.
Let's hope the
Thanks,
Box
Stella.
can do this one. Guys, it's going to be a big weekend, but for now, it's time to seal the box. We're out of here. Cheers.